Jason Lane, you mentioned him, and he was part of that World Series team. He comes back as a pitcher, which is it's amazing, and he's gone back into Major League system. Was with the Padres last I heard. I don't know where he's at right now. Maybe you can remind me of that. But it's funny because you also saw him just a couple of years ago in an Oscar-nominated movie, although in a sort of cameo role. He was in the movie with Richard Linklater, and they showed the home run from his days with the Astros. What was it like to see Jason Lane back here and as a pitcher?
It was really interesting. Year one, he wasn't just a pitcher. He was old school Iron Man baseball, like from the 30s, like Babe Ruth. He had probably one of the more interesting stats of all times. He had 9 wins and 9 home runs. So he would pitch, he would start, throw his 6 to 7 innings, and then he'd take a day off, and then he'd be a hitter the other 3 days, sometimes in the outfield, sometimes as a DH. But I think it wore on him a little as we got towards the end of the season. But then the following year, our pitching coach said, hey, if you want to get back to the majors, you need to focus on just pitching. And he was a left-handed pitcher and a right-handed hitter, so he was very good and wound up getting back to the Padres for a little while, and one of our 5 stories of guys getting back to the majors from the Skeeters. So it was great having him here. Terrific person as well. What's
the strangest experience? Because minor leagues, there's always stuff that you probably don't see in a major league ballpark, and I'm putting you on the spot a little bit, but you've probably seen a few things here in the last few years with the Skeeters that that's not something I would normally see. What comes to mind when I ask you that question? It's hard to pick one with the Skeeters. I think the most bizarre play that still always stands out in my mind in a 13-year minor league career is we had a runner on first when I was with Visalia, and the ball got thrown away. So, I'm sorry, there was a play at the plate on top of the guy who hit it. So the ball comes home, and it was one of those plays at the plate where the runner didn't touch the base and the catcher didn't tag the runner, and the umpire just did what he was supposed to do. He just stood there with not making a safe run out call because he wasn't touched. So our guy starts walking into the dugout, and this time the catcher realizes that the umpire still hasn't made a call. So now the player is completely inside the dugout. So the catcher goes all the way from home into the dugout to tag him. Now, by doing this, I found out a very interesting rule. The catcher has now walked off the field of play, which awards the base runner 2 bases. Oh, it gets better. So the guy at first, the umpire, did what he would normally do. He pointed to third. You get 2 bases. So the player goes to third. Now, before the pitch is thrown, the pitcher steps off the mound, throws to third. Third baseman tags the runner. The umpire yells, "You're out." Well, the runner didn't do the smartest thing. He never went to second. He cut all the way across the diamond and went straight to third. And that's always the one that stands out to me.
You're listening to Houston Sports Talk.